So here we go. You ready?
Yep.
All right. You know him as Jerome Valeska from Gotham. That's his character. Please, a big round of applause for Mr. Cameron Monaghan. You know her as Selena Kyle. You're cheering, that's not even a real name. A real name, please welcome Cameron Picadova. Keep the applause going. You know him as Alfred. Sean. He's a detective, he's a cop, so behave yourselves. Detective Harvey Bullock, you guys. Don't alone, he's here today. And you gotta keep it going. This guy, you watch him on the show and you're like, he is just so creepy. Plays Edward Enigma.
Yeah.
Corey. Well, cast of Gotham, welcome to Houston, Texas. Now, by the way, I know that you've been in Houston for a couple of days because they actually went to NASA and toured the $1 million toilet. I didn't even know we had that in NASA. I saw a bunch of tweets going out. By the way, Sean, thank you for the retweet earlier today, Sean. You retweeted me today, so thank you for that.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, thank you for that. So, how was the $1 million toilet? How was NASA, by the way, you guys?
It was amazing. I mean, it's one thing to be able to get a tour of NASA, but then it's another thing to be able to get a private tour of NASA. So thank you, Comicpalooza, and thank you, NASA, because it was amazing. So.
Yeah, it's something to think about. It's like here in Houston, like right outside your town, there's this place that absolutely represents the pinnacle of of creativity matched with technology, of striving. Like you think about those times back in the 1500s when Portuguese and Spanish sailors were willing to go around the world even though they thought it might be flat and they might go over the edge, and that's exactly what's happening down the road in NASA. You know, they're so brave and it's awesome. It's kind of
That's so cool. Let's get you over our city. All right, Ruben, I know that we have a couple of questions before we go to the audience and take some questions from the crowd. I'm going to start. My first question is, when did it dawn on you guys as a cast that this show was a huge hit? Because it is massive. I mean, do you guys watch Gotham?
Yeah!
So when did it dawn on you all? I think we've got a hit here.
When the pilot aired. Yeah.
Hi, Amy. Sorry, I saw some friends in the audience. Well, you know, it's different when I did a show called Terriers that was kind of loved but you know, the name is weird and you have to invent all the awareness from scratch. To be fair to the success of Gotham, it's like when we signed on for Gotham, we knew we weren't signing on for an unknown entity that wouldn't have like a pre-built fan base, because the only difficult thing was we knew so many people loved the Batman universe that we just had to do a good job because their expectations would be high.
Yeah.
And hopefully we did.
All right, I'm going to jump in. I've got a question, and Cameron and Corey, you guys can kind of split this one. I want to know, what exactly is in the drinking water in Gotham that creates so many villains? Because our Arkham is full of you guys.
Well, I don't think that Edward's a villain yet. I think something that I found actually really exciting. You know, if you're going to tell an origin story, you want to start as far away from where you're going to end up as possible. And I feel pretty fortunate that the creators and writers have actually, with Edward, you know, given me an opportunity to start with a genuinely good guy and show how someone, because of his environment and his predispositions and you know, the company that he's around, how that person can turn evil or, you know, take unfortunate measures to gain power and harness power. You know, I think that's probably the great tragedy with anyone in our culture, in our world, that has decided to do horrible things to to good people. So that's the story we're telling with Edward. So I don't know if it's so much in the water, if it's so much from this guy just not treating me well.
I kind of got, there was a scene at the end where kind of near the end of the season where I was like, not bad, good job, Ed. And I thought in the back of my mind that like this act of kindness might save Harvey Bullock's life. So I better not be too mean to this guy because he's crazy.
Come to the dark side, Ed. It's really fun over here. Being bad is really fun.
I gotta ask you guys when you're filming the show, because honestly from week to week you guys leave us with suspense. Like I'm like I look at the clock, I'm like, okay, there's only 5 minutes left of the episode, and I know Ruben and we're tweeting each other, and this is all online. It's like, dude, it better not end in 5 minutes. I mean, do you realize the suspense you guys are leaving us in when you're filming this thing? It's like you're like, wow, this is gonna be good.
Yeah, well, you know, we changed format a little bit as we went through the season. It started out a bit more of a police procedural, and there was kind of, you know, like a crime that was introduced and it was solved by the end. And about halfway through, it kind of shifted into what we call, you know, more serial TV and not procedural. And things got a bit more, you know, the storylines started kind of getting a bit more dense and complex and wrapping. And I think especially toward the end of the season, you know, when you're dealing with like the Scarecrow storyline that we had and the Ogre storyline, we started really having all these different worlds intermixing and intermingling, and we were able to do that more successfully, so I'm glad you dig that.
Very cool. Did you guys, any of y'all known each other before working together on Gotham?
Nope, I didn't. This is my first TV job, and so I was really intimidated going into it because, you know, the first thing I see is Jada Pinkett Smith playing Fish Mooney and Ben McKenzie playing Jim Gordon, and I'm just like, okay, I am just gonna do it. And so it was really scary, but everybody's really cool, and yeah.
Well, so I have a question in the final episode, because again, and David and I talked about this forever. It seems that, at least in my brain, in my pedestrian understanding of things, it seemed that all of a sudden there was this super rapid transformation for Selena from being the character we'd watched all season long into this shotgun-toting, you know, with the different hair and everything in that scene when Fish and you come out. Did you kind of see that twist coming as well, or was I mean, because I think it caught a lot of people off guard.
No, it caught me off guard, but in a very good way. I don't really see it as a transformation, though. I feel like Fish Mooney was kind of like a mother figure in her eyes, and she wanted to be like her because she doesn't have a mother to look towards for anything. And so I think she's just trying different things. I think she's trying to find herself in a city with all this stuff going on. And I think that's really fascinating because I get to do anything really. And that's thanks to Bruno and Danny, because it's great.
It was well done. It was a good scene.
You know, we should mention that Cameron's referring to Bruno Heller and Danny Cannon, who are the kind of the showrunners, the captains of the ship, and you know, clearly they didn't create the universe, but they're the ones who have been given the responsibility of how to dole it out and how to meet it out until someday, you know, Batman is Batman, and they're great. We have an incredible writing staff.
Definitely. Okay, there's a couple things that actually just broke in the news, guys, and I want you guys to know as fans. For those that want it on DVD, I'm totally getting this. It's going to be out September the 8th, and Netflix is going to be airing episodes of Gotham. Isn't that kind of cool, guys? And in case the cast doesn't know already, you're back at work June 22nd, by the way. They told me Fox said, hey, Ruben, Dave, tell them to be at work on June 22nd.
I think we have to be at work earlier than that.
Yeah, we do.
But there's stuff to happen. Yeah, you do read-throughs, you do wardrobe stuff. You know, we've got
think we're getting like a bumper job as well. We're getting the first 4 scripts in one go, which is going to be a lovely thing to go see.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We'll know what's going to happen.
Hey.
Have you guys had any, like, obviously these are characters that you guys are playing that, you know, there's hardcore comic fans out there. Obviously they're here at Comicpalooza, right? So have you guys just on the street, have you had encounters with fans? This is kind of a general question. Encounters with fans and they go, hey, are you going to do this? You're going to do that? Like, what are some of the encounters you've had with fans based on you guys now being a part of Gotham?
Well, I live in Brooklyn, and before it started, obviously people were aware that the show was coming out because it was a big media mass, advertising campaign. And on my block, there's a really fit older guy. I mean, older, like he may have been around since 75 years ago when Batman started. And he was wearing a Batman T-shirt, and I was walking down the street, and he goes, "You're on Gotham. You'd better